What's up everyone, my name is Will from Ghost Hack, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my Riddim drops. Alright, so cutting right to the chase here, the first thing we're definitely going to need is some drum samples. Let's take these kicks right here. There are 20 of these kicks. These are very powerful. Really good. I think I like kick 17 right here. So I'm going to take that in right there. So there we have our kick. And now let's take a snare here. For Riddim, I like to choose either a clap to layer over the kick, a snare to stand on its own, or a snare clap to layer over the kick. I think the snare claps are more common. I'm going to go with one of those. I'm going to go with snare clap 5 right here. But it actually needs a clap layer. Also, this is too slow. Let's bring it up to 140. That's usual Riddim. So let's take clap 6 and throw that right there. And then we have something else to deal with. The kick, when it hits under these snares, these snare claps and the clap, it's too loud. So I'm going to make unique. And then instead of turning it down right here, just so we can see it a little more visually, I'm going to control the volume with this in out. So let's go in a little bit and go out. We can even make it a little shorter. See, that's a little too quiet, so we have to find a happy medium. Let's maybe take it down to there. Okay, that's going to be better, but the claps and stuff are too loud. So right now, let's route these kicks into 1 right here. And let's route this one right here into 2. And then, yeah, sure, we'll route this one into 3. All right, I think that sounds better. So we're going to leave it like that, and then we can just sort of repeat this because Riddim is not complicated in its rhythm. It's a very consistent rhythm. Next thing I'm going to do is take a cymbal of some kind. Let's see, it's usually a ride. And then I'm going to place this ride on every beat right here. Now it's too loud, but let's go ahead and route this into 4, and then we can turn down the volume. And then next thing what I'm going to do is it's going to hit every beat like this, so I don't want it coming in really sharp. So all I'll do is instead of sidechaining, that'll take a little bit, but we are going to do that later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and go generic. And then I'm just going to select all similar clips. Then I'm going to use this tool while holding Alt to kind of slide it a little bit. And then you can see a kind of fade in. So it's there, but it's not interfering with the transient of the kick or the snare. Just kind of chilling there in the background. And now we can take a hi-hat. I like this one. It almost sounds sort of like a shaker, but pretty much all of these are good. And then we can place it right here on each of these offbeats. And then it should layer in pretty well. You don't want to have too many cymbals and crazy stuff going on. This is Riddim. We want to keep the drums kind of minimal. All right, and that is pretty much our drum pattern for this point. And now I think we should just go right to the basses. So I have a bunch of bass hits here, and I kind of want to use these to create the Riddim sounds that we're going to use for this drop. All the subs are in here, so we might not have to deal with an external sub. It's going to be pretty nice. There are some bass loops in here too, some of which sound pretty good, and they're pretty decent to just throw in. Like this one right here. Sounds pretty cool, but we're not going to use the loops. We're just going to use the basses themselves. And also this whole thing is very loud, so I'm going to turn down the gain a little bit. And as you can see, the clap is a lot louder than the kick right here, so we're going to have to sort of deal with that. Maybe we can turn these down and then turn this down even more. Yeah, maybe it wasn't down enough. I'm cool with that. That's probably fine. It's going to peak up a little more than normal. Yeah, that's okay. And now let's keep working on the basses like we just started. All right, so I think the way I want to start this, I kind of like these. I think they're kind of cool. I enjoy them, so I'm going to try doing something with those. There's that delay again. I may take that out, but it sounds kind of cool. So now let me take this other one, and I don't think I want to just do this, where it goes like, even though it doesn't sound half bad, doesn't sound different from other kinds of rhythm out there. I think I want to do something a little different. But first off, I do kind of want to fix this delay. It is a common thing in rhythm, but I think I want to just hold off on it for now, so we can sort of have it separated like that. Then maybe it won't switch. Maybe it'll just stick to... Yeah, and then let's take this right here and sort of shorten it. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let me make this unique. I suppose I didn't have to make it unique because I'm just going to add this transient sort of bleeding so we can do a little fade out. And now let's add some something else, maybe something juicy down here. Yeah, maybe let's take that, and this end part is actually pretty good. So let's see if we can't trim it up a bit. And then we'll do the mixing later. This is very rough. I just want to get something down, and I may replace that later as well because it's a little messy. And we're gonna have to mix up this pattern as well. Maybe throw this right here and sort of do this. Let me go ahead and add some bleeding to this one. So we can do this. And now we're going to take this one and put it right here. Except it's not going to sound like that. We're going to have to change it. So let's kind of affect the time here so it sort of fits into the triplets. And then let's cut this off. All right, so now we got this pattern down. It's so terribly mixed that we really have to do something about this. So let's make sure everything has their own, like its own channel. Okay, the first thing we're gonna have to do to make this better is first off mix it. So it all seems pretty much the same volume, but we have to check stereo width as well. Now you can use pretty much any stereo imager for this. I like to use this one right here. It's really cheap by kilohertz. And then you can just see the width. Okay, so I kind of know what that's like. Let's check this one. Very wide, so we could turn it down a little bit. Yeah, that might be a little better, at least compared to the other one. And now let's check this one. This one could actually use a little more. Yeah, I can dig that. The next thing I want to do is definitely go into the EQ right here and then cut off the very low and the very high, and then maybe we could add a little more high into this one. Since the other ones have so much high end, we can take this one down. All right, let's cut this off. And cut that down. Cool. And now let's move on to this one. This one has some stuff. Now the next we're going to turn all these down. And it's already starting to sound a little better. But let's route these all through literally any channel. Like let's take, let's route these into 30 right here, route to this track only. And 30 is going to be our sidechain. It's routing right to the master. So I definitely am going to need something like a limiter. I like using the limiter just because it has a good volume. You could use Fruity Gain in pretty much the same way, or Maximus, or anything really, just anything that has a volume. So I'm going to bring the ceiling all the way up and create an automation clip for this. And now we have our little automation. And now we can maybe create a space up here. I like doing this just so I can see exactly where I'm putting my automation clip, and bring it right up here just to see exactly where I'm sidechaining. And now we can bring this down like this. And this, honestly, this is going to be our basic sidechain. It's a terrible sidechain, but let's just place it wherever there is a drum hit. Yeah, it actually doesn't sound half bad, but it's too dramatic like that. Let's take double curve, sort of curve it up like this. So there we go. Now our basses and everything else kind of fits in together with the drums. But we still have to add another half to this. So let's just go ahead and add this half, and we'll make some changes, and then that will be kind of this drop done. Now the easy thing to do would be, since we have all this stuff right here, there's like 2 versions of everything. Let's just take the new version and plop it into all of these right here, which would be the interesting thing to do. So let me just make all of these unique and place them right here everywhere they need to be, so we have new ones and not the old ones. So now let's take this one right here, and we're gonna throw it right here. And then maybe this new one is gonna go like this. Except we're gonna change it. Let's highlight all these and sort of scoot these over like this, so we get this. And then next we'll have to take these and probably scoot them around a little bit just to make sure they're different. We don't want to make it like too repetitive. It's rhythm, it's repetitive, but we want to make sure there's variation. I'm actually cool with leaving that one the way it is, but these right here, I like that one. I want to make this one just a different one. So, or maybe we can switch them now. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try going like this. Maybe we'll just get rid of this one. I just want to try out as many things as possible so I know that what I'm doing is good. Yeah, I want to leave it like that. But this last one, we do need to add a little more variation. So let's take this one out. And now let's make a cut, and then we can make unique. And now we can sort of use this right here again to slow it down even further. And let's take this right here, and maybe we can sort of machine gun it. Oh, we're gonna definitely need this thing to be on 6 beat. Yeah, there we go. So now we can find the right spot. Yeah, the machine gun actually sounds pretty good. So let's go in and transient. And now let's slide these aside just a little bit. Yeah, that works out good. Now we're actually pretty close to being done, but there's a couple other things I want to add here. I want one of them to be a drum fill. I kind of like this one right here. It's got a nice sort of 6/8 vibe. And I'm definitely going to throw that one right here. Got to turn it down. Yeah, it's just a little bit of something going on right there. And then in the next one, kind of want it to be that, so we can add that sort of 808 snare vibe. There we go. So we have some fills there, but now I need sort of a reverse. It's like not a long reverse. I just need a clap. Probably this clap because it's real and it's kind of in a room, so we can reverse it. Like that, so I can do that on strategic areas with the drums. Kind of like that. I just have to trim out this part right here so we know there's no actual clap, then put that right there. So I'm gonna add it right here before the snare, and right here before the kick. It's kind of hard to hear, but it just makes the kick hit a little bit harder. You know, I felt like it was needing more impact. So we're going to do that right there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take all this down. We're going to have a separate channel for these reverse claps. By separate channel, I mean separate track on the playlist right here. I actually have this riser. It's like a police siren, and I sort of want to use it, see if I can strategically put it in these areas. I think I kind of like this. Especially at the end right there. It just adds some kind of energy. I don't even know. So what I'm going to do is normalize it, and then I'm going to go in, Then I'm also going to go out. I'm going to try to make it sort of line it up with the one that I already have. Just sort of look like that. So it does sort of rise up. We're just going to turn this down low because it's not big. It's just in the background. All right, I think we're about done. I just want to add one more little change. I want to kind of offset this right here. And I think that'll sound kind of interesting. All right, so I threw together a quick mastering change for this. I kind of crammed it through pretty hard. It's okay if Riddim is distorted a little bit more. It's supposed to be gnarly like that, but this is the final drop that we came up with. Just keeping it short and sweet because it's very easy to make Riddim using this pack. Just this section of the bundle, it works out really, really well because there's a ton of good samples. And even if you don't like the bass hits or anything like that, there's a ton of inspiration as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy producing.